What a machine. Beautiful. Chances are, if you've found your way to this YouTube page, you have just bought an SW Motech PRO tank ring. I'm having to upgrade mine from the BMW R1200 to the new R1300. I thought the existing tank ring I had would have fitted. However, BMW's decided to make it slightly different in the measurements, which means I've had to go and buy a brand new one. So this is a fitting video on how to actually attach one of these to your bike. Okay, so here's a PRO tank ring. I'm a huge fan of SW Motech, being completely honest. I think their stuff is absolutely fantastic. It's really, really well built. Pretty easy to install yourself, but sometimes these videos can help. So have a wee quick look at what's inside the box. So you can hear there's the actual tank ring itself. Pretty straightforward. I'll get that out of the fitting. Now this will actually come in two parts. It's all to do with the security of it. The first part is what we'll fix to the bike. A couple of wee screw points into there to be able to put the bolts through. And then this will go on top of it. Couple of wee spacers in there, and again that'll fix to the bike that way too. Different sizes, I suppose, work with different tanks, and again those are different spacers as well, which we'll need. Okay, so the tools we're going to need for the job is a T25 Torx. This will be used to take out these 4 bolts here on the actual tank. Need a set of Allen keys too, so we're going to need the 2.5mm and the 4mm, and these will fit the different sort of bolts that will go into the actual tank bag itself. So if you arm yourself with that, that should really be all that you need. We're going to take out the 4 bolts out of the actual bike's tank. Keep them safe. Handy to have in case you ever sell it and you want to take this off in the hope that it fits the next bike and BMW don't change it too much. That was the same with the R1200 and the R1250. You were able to sort of swap these main accessories about quite easily between bikes. It was a big selling point. So in my naivety when buying the R1300, I thought, I'll just keep a hold of this and switch it over to the new bike. If only that was the truth. Now this bit here is a bit different. This must do with the lock itself. And pop that back down in there. That's a bit different from the old one. It was all a solid piece last time round. Perfect. Now, at least the magnet's working well on that one. Now there's going to be 4 little spacers you're going to get, and you're going to seat 1, 2. This one here is actually around a bolt. 3, and there'll be another one hiding, again around the bolt. Now SW Motech actually give you a couple of different bolt options. Again, ideally what you're looking for is to measure the size against the bolts that you originally took out, and just allowing for the fact that we're now got this slightly raised gap as well, so you do want them to be a bit bigger. It's just to make sure you get a nice solid snug fit. So if we measure off the old one, it's possibly a bit too long. It's definitely too long. You want to just try and get the best possible fit for it, I guess. Yeah, that size there will be perfect. Next stage is to place this on here. And we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. All of them need to be filled with a big bolt. So we'll try and get the right one into there, make sure it's all a nice, tight, snug fit. Okay, so for starters, we're going to find these ones here with the flat heads. These will take the 2.5mm. There should be 2 of these. 1, 2. Make sure they're the same size, because again you do get different sizes with them. You see, if I just compare this with the other one. But we need to crucially make sure that it still gives us that bit of depth compared to the original bolt. So that's the original that came out. So I think that one's going to be a bit too small, which is why we're going to use this larger one. We're going to take 2 of them. Pop that back. And we're going to place it. If you see, these bits here are recessed. There's 2 small black mounting holes up there. They're both threaded. That's where you're going to put the last part of the puzzle into there. And this is our 2.5mm. Take these down. Perfect. There we are. It's all nicely spaced around there. Just give these a wee bit more of a tighten. It's quite good with it being in 2 stages. It's one of those things, it's, you know, just makes it a wee bit more difficult for people to try and take off the bike, I guess, if they're hit with all these wee different sized, you know, Allen keys that's needed and different bolts. And it looks a complex system, but it's actually really straightforward to fit. So next part, we're going to put this here over. And if we can see here, we've got 4 indents. Now this part, there's going to be 2 small, very, very small black sort of spacers, I guess, but they're not, a bit more complex than that. One side's actually threaded, and the other side is spaced for an Allen key. So we're going to pop one in. And these need individually tightened, but we're not going to tighten too tight until we can get the bolts in at the back. There we go. We'll grab our next size Allen key. So let's try the 4mm on this. It should hopefully fit. Yes. Perfect. Snug but not tight. And then we're going to drop in our larger bolts at the back. So again, it's a couple of different sizes. So we're going to go large or small. You need to factor in that you've just added a bit of distance now between where these would normally seat and the spacers. So I actually quite like the look of that larger one. We'll try it. We'll see how we get on. Lovely. I think the larger one's perfect for that, actually. Put the second one in. Now, for those who are new to the SW Motech range, this Pro system is exceptional. The way it just locks onto the bike is absolutely fantastic. You can also lock it as well. Not many tank bikes you can do that. You know, very, very easy for thieves just to run up and run away with your tank bag if they really wanted to. And, you know, given the volume of touring I do, it's one less thing to worry about, to be honest. So you can get a lock kit, which I've covered in a previous video with the other tank bag system. You just tighten everything up nicely. There we have it. Tank ring fitted. Simple, simple job. And if we look now at this is the mounting plate that will go into that. It should just be a magnetic fit. This is adjustable, which is fine. It might need a wee bit of adjustment forward and backward, just depending on, you know, where we're sort of going to go. Make sure we can get the handlebars turned. I think that could do with coming back a bit. I'm not entirely convinced that that's the right position. So we'll make a small adjustment to this bag. And we'll move that up a wee bit more just to push that. Maybe seat them up about here. That should allow us to, ideally, there we go, 2.5 mil. Listen. Listen. Oh. Important thing with this is there's a wee pin inside it, which is part of the locking mechanism. Just make sure it's out, otherwise this is going absolutely nowhere. We are going to need to adjust the hole in this as well if we're going to be changing the location of this. Just take these 4 out. Now that can slide up. I reckon about there should be fine. Again, previous hole for locking, if you can see, is right there. So because we're moving that up, that's a really easy thing to do. That's just a drill bit through there. Really, really straightforward. That's all covered now, so I don't think it's going to compromise the waterproof capabilities of this bag, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be pretty well protected by the time all this is back on, so I don't see why you couldn't reuse your old tank bag on a new bank at all, even with some slight adjustments. And there we have it. So this should fit. Yeah, that's much better now. Not quite as far forward as what it was. Obviously different dynamics with the R1300 to the R1200. But we are ready to go. Tank bag is all nice and secure. We'll just need to sort that locking point later on. We'll get that drilled through, make sure that that all fits. So that was the old hole. Just we need to find where the other one is. You would always drill it from the bottom up. Come into there. Probably about there, I reckon. And then we're good to go with our locking point as well. So, there we have it. Just appreciate the beauty of the R1300 GS with tank bag fitted. This is the Pro Day pack. There's the Adventure one, which actually would probably look a wee bit better on this. Drops down at the back, gives you a bit more storage space. But yeah, what a machine. Beautiful.